I would say for the first part of your questions that depends on the federation. They have their own decision and choices for their own athletes. I think if you ask the French athletes, they are not at all afraid. I don't know what measures exactly they take, but they are used to swim and they've swum before in very much poor water quality throughout the world. So I would ask the athletes themselves, but I'm quite confident because I read that in the paper this morning that they are very okay and happy and excited about swimming in the Seine. And concerning the second questions, the mayor swam in a water that was under the levels that the federations fix for their athletes, so there's no question about that. She swam alongside with I think 100 people, and no one had any kind of problem. What you have to understand is that levels are made to take decisions. So you're either under or over a number, but it doesn't mean that if you swim right over the number or just under the level that you'll get sick. So they are people used to swim in the sea, in the Seine. Before that, we used to have triathlons in the Seine up to 2012, I think. They had much higher rates of bacteria in the Seine, and even then they didn't have problems. So it's not about being just under or just over. Of course, there are decisions that need to be made, and we need to follow the rules that were established. But once we said that, of course, it's not because you swim in a river with a little higher level that you'll get sick instantly.
Just to add on what Pauline just said, I'm not an athlete, as maybe you can see, so I'm really not in a position to give any advice to athletes, but what I can say for sure is that I swam alongside the mayor last week. I was just in my swimsuit, I didn't take anything, and as you can see, well, I'm perfectly well. So that's, just to illustrate what Pauline was saying. When we swam last week, we were under the threshold, which is the one which is used by swimming federation. So no problem from that point of view.
I think it's quite funny to see there is the levels that are needed, but also a kind of myth around the pollution of the Seine, because it's not that terrible. Of course, there's the levels that they are important. But if you compare to other circuits throughout the world, it's not at all much worse. And having swum a full week in the River Seine, I was taking just a shower after, and the biggest problem was to swallow the water. So I would recommend rather to not swallow the water rather than to take a lot of big other precautions, such as cleaning your wetsuit. And all this is good, fine. And of course, if athletes want to do it, I would encourage them to do it. But it's not necessary if you're swimming just for one day and if the levels are correct.
And because we are preparing swimming sites in Paris for general population, we are very confident in the fact that they won't get sick, because we wouldn't do that if we had any doubt about that.